I think finding out that it was nominated for an Edgar was probably the first big and the biggest surprise, because that comes, you don't know whether you're gonna win until like the moment that they literally kind of pull out an envelope and you're with kind of in a big crowd, and I just would have had no inkling that that would have happened. The nomination was exciting just because all of a sudden you're kind of in this right in this group of Edgar nominees, and that just really was quite mind-blowing because all of a sudden you're in this larger community with people who write this, like mysteries and crime fiction and nonfiction around other areas. So that was just it was just lovely, completely lovely. And it was unfortunately during COVID, which meant that everything around the Edgars was virtual and through Zoom, as well as the Edgars ceremony itself. But the great thing about that was that there were some um, right, there were some events leading up to, so every time that the nominees were together, we were kind of doing things virtually. So it was nice to be in conversation. Um, and then when the announcement was made that Phantom Lady won the Edgar, that was just absolutely inconceivable to me. So I did just completely break down, and just really had kind of a moment of massive tears in front of everybody. But that was also kind of overwhelming because I just felt that it was just kind of an honor for recognizing Joan Harrison herself. It really became nothing about me at all, but about the work that she had done and kind of not been recognized for. And I'd had this moment years ago, literally in 1999, where I'd been at a conference. It was a centenary, meaning like a 100-year celebration for Alfred Hitchcock, because 1899 was the year of his birth. So in 1999, New York University held this fantastic celebration that included a lot of writers and like the stars of his movies. And I was presenting a little bit on Joan Harrison, but I approached someone that I wanted to interview for my research, and this was somebody who I hadn't, at the time I didn't know, but had won an Edgar, right? And so I approached him and I said, would you mind talking to me a little bit about Joan Harrison and what it was like to work with her and Hitchcock? And he just basically stopped dead in his tracks and said, well, why would anybody ever want to write a book about Joan Harrison? And it was like he literally put her into a garbage can. And so thinking, like reflecting back on that, um, really actually is what made me kind of really emotional in the moment of the whole Edgar ceremony, because I realized that some people had that view of her, that she just didn't deserve even to have a conversation, even like a few words. And that something like an award to me is really prestigious. I just have so much respect for that. I thought that was just incredible.